Hey everybody, welcome to the Minor Amnesia Podcast. The name needs some work, but it's a temporary name for now. I'm Uff. I'm here with
I'm Cage or
I'm here with
Kage.
Cage.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which one you say.
We're trying out something new. I met Cage on a Twitch stream, right? Over the years, I have been involved in a TeamSpeak, and one day at the gym, I thought to myself, "Hey, our TeamSpeak conversations are basically a podcast. So, fuck it, let's do it." And,
So
Cage
I
got on
have,
board? Fuck.
yeah. Let's just talk at the same time. So sorry for interrupting you there, but I have been trying to get us to do a fucking podcast for years.
You have.
Just want to toss that out there.
Really?
This isn't completely a new thing. This is just finally getting down and doing it.
How long have you been trying to get us to do a podcast?
As the day that I found out that you could record TeamSpeak through TeamSpeak.
Through TeamSpeak, yeah.
Yeah. The Control-Shift-R fucking whatever it is.
And here we are on our Discord.
A name that I have just thought of is Before I Forget. Because
that's not bad.
I know, I was just thinking that. Because, I mean, obviously, I gotta fucking say that shit before I forget it, or else it's gone forever. So,
none of you know anything about us, but Cage has a really hard time remembering anything. Like,
something you will quickly come to know about me is I will lose what I'm saying mid-sentence. And also, I swear like an Australian sailor.
Is this gonna be family friendly? I don't think so.
I mean, I can try to hold it back, but that's my default word.
But anyway, yeah, we're trying out something new. I don't know if you like it. If you like it, tell us. If we could change something, tell us. And
yeah, if you don't like us, tell us what you like.
If it sucks, leave. Because you have bad taste. Anyway, Cage, how you been?
No, if it sucks, stay because you have bad taste.
How you been, Cage?
I've been all right. It's been hot and it's been wet, and it's gross right here right now.
It's gross.
I hate it.
I know you have no air conditioning in your house.
I have a window air conditioner, but it's not like I have right now like a towel and some pants draped around it to try to fucking like seal the window around it.
Yeah.
And I have like flattened boxes taped to the windows to try to keep the sun out.
I mean, I grew up in an area where the house was always air conditioned. It never really got blazing hot or anything like that. But Cage has grown up in quite the opposite.
It has been so hot here before that I like literally could not breathe. I remember, man, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember, that's something you're not gonna hear very often. I remember I was in my underwear, tidy whities at the time, and I was sitting there laying on my bed, like gasping for air because it's 110 degrees and 90% humidity, and I just can't.
I mean, in the I grew up in a somewhat big city, right? And Cage is here out in the boonies. Civilization is nowhere.
I'm soon to move even farther into the boonies. Like right now I have like 3 neighbors, and then that's like in the entire town basically of like less than 100 people.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna move out into the countryside where our nearest neighbor will be like 10 minutes walk away.
But Cage lives out in the boonies. I lived in a pretty big city. So, like, I had public pools and whatnot around, and I could I could leave and get out of the heat if the house was just impossible to live in. But I don't know what it's like to fucking. You say you have all the shower's about to fall through.
Yeah, the bathtub is falling through the floor. The pipes are busted.
What the hell?
Like I have to wash in the sink. It's just you never get everything. You've always got like something still somewhere that you've missed, and then it dries out and it itches because that's how soap do.
Man, dude, showers. I feel like I'm the privileged white kid, and I'm like giving
Yeah,
I'm giving a talk to like I don't know
I'm like
the bad
fucking
side of
the bad
fucking
side of town. Like
yeah
I'm from like fucking
yeah. I'm
the
talking about how privileged I am, and you need
yeah.
to work hard in order to. But I don't want it to seem like that. I'm just saying we come from vastly different backgrounds. I wasn't even born in this country, but
I mean, you're still pretty American though.
yeah, I moved here when I was 5. I consider myself an American, but
I've only been out of the country once,
Australia,
to Australia and New Zealand.
it was all in one trip.
Yeah, 10 days apiece. 10 days in Australia, then 10 days in New Zealand.
I have never been on a vacation, like true vacation, more than a week and a half. So 20 days is almost a month.
Yeah,
At
this
that point, like, what are you gonna do?
it was for uh people to people student ambassador program. So we had like books we had to fill out, fucking journal entries we had to write,
So it
little
was like school.
fucking basically, but like a little bit more informal. And there were more people there than there were at my school. There were like trying to think of how many, at least 27, possibly up to 40 between those two numbers. And we would all ride a coach, like a bus, not like a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah, yeah.
horse and buggy coach. Like we had different drivers every day in Australia, but we had the same guy throughout all of New Zealand. And so like we went to all the big tourist places, went to all the markets. I did a homestay in New Zealand for a couple days. That was pretty fun. Saw Mount Doom. That was nice.
Mount Doom. What is that?
Yeah, from Lord of the Rings,
Oh.
because Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Man, you're after coming out of that conversation about how your life sucks and my life has always been great, and you get to go to New Zealand. Here I am. My school field trips were just going to the museum or something that was like 10 minutes away.
Oh, the museum was much farther than 10 minutes away here.
I can imagine. So
Dude, fucking so many long ass bus rides with kids. I hate everyone all the time. I'm friends with everyone, but I also hate everyone because man, they are too. See, friends to me is not like best friends. I mean, best friends to me is what like other people consider normal friends, I guess. Because like they're talking, they talk with all their friends. I
yeah.
only talk with like my very best friends. Fucking actually, one of my best friends, uh, we hung out like all the time at the library, and we would not say a word to each other for like hours. We would just sit there doing our own thing, and like other people would come up to us, like they knew that we were friends and that we were like sitting together and just being there, and they're like, what are you doing? And we're like, what? Because we weren't talking, and they're like, I have no idea what they thought was going on, but they didn't think that they thought it was fucking weird. But I mean, it's not all bad growing up in the middle of nowhere. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
knows you. Everyone talks to you. People I've never seen before in my life know me
But
by name, know my entire past.
you just
It's
said you
like,
don't like people talking to you though.
yeah,
So
I
if
know. That's
everybody's
what
trying to talk to you,
that. Yeah, that's the bad part. Fucking had this elderly gentleman, lovely person. I'm sure
yeah.
him and his wife are out. He's on like crutches, like polio crutches, and he's starts talking to me. He's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing, man? You still doing taekwondo and all that good stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks. I gotta go." And then I just fucking leave. I am terrible at like talking to people. Like a part of me wishes that I could talk to people more, but it's like, man, I really don't want to.
Well, the thing I loved about going in from like high school to college and whatnot, just like straight up talking to people. In high school, you go through that. You're forced to talk to people. You're forced to work with people you don't want to work with, and it sucks. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes working in a group in high school. And if you did, you're lying to yourself because it was
Yeah,
garbage. Nobody
yeah,
pulled their own weight. It was fucking trash, and I hated it. But as soon as you get to college, all those requirements of people are like fuck you being required to talk to people are all gone, and I love that because you get to take control of like who you get to talk to and whatnot. But then again, when you're in the middle of nowhere, you don't really have a say in who you talk to because they're the only people there.
yeah. Like both schools I went to, both colleges I went to, were very small class sizes.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give a little bit of college advice now to the younger people listening against their parents' wishes. I don't, for the love of God, man, fucking do your research about the schools you're thinking about. Don't go to an expensive school. Doesn't matter how great it is, man. The debt gets worse all the time, constantly. Like I'm sure my little brother's debt is gonna be like 5 times mine when he goes.
You still have school debt.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. See,
dude, the first school I went to, fucking, this is why I'm saying the fucking don't go to the first school you see that's like great and awesome
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Fucking 25,000 a semester.
A semester.
No, not a semester, a year. I
Oh.
misspoke.
I was gonna say 25 25,000 a
Dude,
semester.
fucking, that's like Harvard money. That's literally like 2013. It was like 24,000 a year at Harvard. It's like schools are just because students can get FAFSA and shit.
I hate FAFSA.
The
FAFSA.
schools know that students can get all this money that's not theirs and give it to them. So they raise the prices and they get more money. Fuck the students.
When I went to college, my mom was like, "We don't need a FAFSA or whatever," um, because my aunt was rich and she was like, "Okay, here's like $50,000. I'll put it in a bank account and it'll make like 5% a year," which was fantastic. Thank you, aunt, if you're listening. Um, but we did that, and like without that, most definitely we would have had to done a FAFSA or whatever. But we took out a small loan because I had just gotten my credit card and I wanted to build some credit.
Yeah.
The we took out like $5,000, right? We let it sit for around like 3 months. $8,000 in 3 months.
Yeah.
It had
Dude,
almost
the
doubled.
interest on those things is unbelievable.
I
Like,
hate it. Oh my gosh. Like I understand why they're increasing the prices and all because they can. And
yeah,
if
they
you're
get
without a
more
college
money.
degree in America, there's a very very hard chance you're going to find like a well-paying, decent job so you can build a family and whatnot. But
Dude, even with a college degree, it's
yeah,
like all these entry level positions with this fucking piss poor pay require years of experience. It's like you have to get an internship there, unpaying, for like literally a year before you even like get your foot in the door.
at the job I'm at right now, so I applied to tons of places. Um, but when I applied to the place I'm working at right now, I had done an internship there, and they said, "Oh yeah, you'd probably need a master's or something to work here, but because you did your internship here, yeah, we'll let you on because we like the work you did here." And to get a master's on top of all the student debt you have from just like a basic bachelor,
Yeah, it's just
it's
it's unreal. It's I cannot believe just how much money everyone like America's in debt. All the people in America are in debt. It's like the amount of money is just it's staggering. It's unthinkable.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
It's like the amount of money doesn't exist anywhere. So why is everywhere negative?
I mean, I don't want to bring politics into this, but
Oh, it's definitely politics.
if if Trump raises the economy, if he helps out the economy in any way, I can bet you right now he'll get reelected. No matter how much crap he's getting right now, if he helps out that's such a big issue. And it's just kind of been sitting there for a while. I haven't seen too many gains in it. This is not a political podcast.
No, it's not. We
No.
we know nothing about politics.
No, we don't.
Uff
This is what I
knows
was
Uff
talking
knows
about.
slightly more than me. I know like literally nothing. I do
I
my best to avoid it until like the year and a half before election,
yeah.
and then I do my crash course, and then as soon as the election happens, I forget all of it.
And that's why we call this podcast Minor Amnesia or whatever you called it. We didn't write it down, did we?
Before I forget,
Before we're gonna type that down.
because that's my motto. That's my life's. That's my fuck. What is that? My creed. That's what
All
that
right.
is.
So let's come off the politics for a little bit. Cage,
Yeah. What? Do you have a topic, or can I go?
you can go. You can go.
Okay. What's like the what sort of science experiments did you get in your school? Because you went to a much bigger
All
school,
right. I
and
have
you
a
had like
story.
resources to do stuff.
I have stories. So you talking about like physics, you talking about chemistry,
We had a science class, and in it we sometimes did
s-
the experiments.
so by science, what do you mean by science? Just like a
Everything
rudimentary.
from biology, earth science, physical science.
So at the high school I went to, high school was where it was popping. College I didn't do too much because I was a math major, engineering major rather. Um, but when I was in high school, I started off by taking a biology course, biology honors or whatever it's called. Might be AP biology now because of all the stupid grade weighting they're putting into schools. But when I did that, we had like the normal frog dissection. Everybody's got to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but we just had like 3 dissections, and that was about it for experiments and lab time and whatnot.
Yeah, we only had the frog, and it was an old frog.
Oh, we had a squid,
Oh
and
damn, that sounds
it
interesting.
it was cool. It smelled awful.
Oh,
'Cause
I'm
the
sure it smelled
embalming
like squid.
yeah, the embalming fluid just
Squid and formaldehyde.
and it just fills the hall because you got to keep the door open or else everybody just suffocates in the room. But in the squid, what we did was there's a they call it a pen, and it's basically the spine of the squid, and you can pull it out. You can make an incision and pull it out. And they voice crack, and they said whoever can get the most of the pen out, gets 100% on the slab, no
Damn,
matter
really?
what. And
Like you chop that thing up.
and it's so brittle, and I spent 10 minutes just pulling it out super slowly, and I got the whole thing out untouched. It was beautiful. And the teacher looks at it, he picks it up and breaks it, and I got so mad because I had spent my entire class period on that lab trying to pull that thing out. He broke it. He gave me the 100. I was fine with it afterwards. But man, biology, it was just the dissections and whatnot.
I don't really remember dissecting the frog other than it was hard as a rock, and I'm surprised the scalpel cut into it. I don't know if I'm sure we had like an old dull scalpel as well, and that
We
didn't help
also,
matter.
so I took a marine biology course as well as just regular biology. And we in regular bio, besides the dissections, I don't think you can call these experiments, but we made like stupid DNA chains out of paper and whatnot. I don't remember half of it. But in marine biology, we didn't do the squid, but we did a baby shark, which was really cool. And they only had like 3 of them because they were hard to get. And then they had like a big shrimp. And I remember I popped the eye of the shrimp, and it got like all over this girl, and she was freaking out, and I blamed it on my lab partner. He got in trouble. I was scot-free. That was about the only cool thing from that course. I'm going to save the best one for last. That's chemistry. So physics was pretty standard. You just do like the normal. You get 4 sensors. You hook them up to different masses and whatnot. You measure all that out. Lots of graphing with Excel and whatnot. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have
Occasionally
physics.
you'd get a lab where you'd calculate like friction of a cart rolling down a hill or something, and that was kind of fun. We had a hovercraft, which was, have you ever seen Mythbusters where they get that like wooden platform, they put the garbage bag under it, and they like fire the leaf blower into it, and it like floats up?
Yeah.
We had one of those. And we also had a 20% time or something like that. I know they call it 20% time now, and that's basically you pick a project, you use physics topics you learned in class, and you just make whatever you want. So what I did, I made a ukulele.
The teacher can't be fucked to make a project, so you guys pick one.
Well, because of the structure of the class,
Yeah.
it was mandatory to have 20% of the class periods 1 day a week in lab area time. And because we had a lab like every 3 days, he just shoved the last quarter of it or so in that project time. It was really fun. I had friends who like made guitars and whatnot for the 20% time. I made the ukulele, and that was pretty stupid. It did not work too well, and it got out of tune really easily. But that was about all my physics was. Then there was chemistry. Now, my chemistry teacher had been there for around, she'd been there for around 20 years. I think she's still there. So she had seen everything, and she probably didn't care at that point. And if she's still teaching there, I don't think she cares at all anymore. But what we do, like burning stuff with the Bunsen burner and like having it change color simultaneously to show like a certain amount of acid was burned off for this, and now it's like a basic solution or whatever.
Yeah.
We titrated certain things. We did the elephant foam and whatnot. And then nearing the end of the course, we were working with some pretty noxious stuff. So we had like super concentrated like hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, stuff that'll like burn your skin
Yeah.
straight off, and it's gonna scar. But we also had this lab where we worked with sodium metal. And if you know anything about the first column in the periodic table, if you put them in water, it's fucked. It blows up.
Yeah, it is not good.
Yeah.
I've seen gifs.
So after we did this lab, our teacher decided to just leave for like basically the rest of the class period. And I'm like, where is she? Because I'm trying to do a worksheet and whatnot. And we aren't doing much. So I see this big block of sodium metal just sitting on her desk. And I go, all right.
Oh, no.
So I take it.
I know where this is going.
I take it. And I just stick it in my backpack. I forget about it. And like 2 days later, we have a fire drill, right? So we all evacuate the school. Basic stuff. I've got my backpack on because it's like near the end of the day. And I'm probably just going to leave. Because I think I had a study hall or something like that. But I'm hanging out with like 3 of my friends. And we're just waiting for the fire drill to be over. We go back inside. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to stay out here and like hide behind these trees until everybody goes back into the school. And that way I can just leave and nobody's going to question me. So I stay with the 3 of them. Everybody's walking back. We're hiding behind the trees. And then I find the sodium metal in my backpack. And I go, oh, sweet. So we're like taking little bits of it with our hands. Probably isn't a good idea. And we're like throwing it in this little stream by us, right? And it's going like, pss, 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 and it's like popping, making cool noises. And my friend
And so
goes,
you throw the whole thing.
that's where this is going. My friend goes, what if we throw the whole thing in? I'm not stupid. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't do that. And the dude's like, come on, who's gonna know? So I look around.
Everyone in a 3-mile radius.
There's nobody around, and I'm just like, fine, we'll do it. I don't know what else I'm gonna do with this thing. Because, like, I took it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it now. Because I sure as hell ain't giving it back to the teacher after I stole it. So I decide, yeah, I'll just throw the whole block in. I throw it in, nothing happens. And it just sinks to the bottom. And my friends are going, what the hell?
So
the thing
you
about
took
sodium
off,
is,
right? You left, yeah? You zipped it out of there.
No, I just kind of said, and I was really disappointed. But the thing about sodium metal is sometimes they put a protective coating on it because if the humidity is too high, it will react with the sodium metal. So they put this coating on it. The water was dissolving through that coating when we threw it in. So I'm just like, oh, what a waste. And I thought it was because there wasn't enough surface area for it to react with or whatever, right? But as soon as I turn around, there's this enormous explosion. Water shoots like 25 feet in the air or something. This enormous explosion. All the fish that were in the stream just float to the top. We duck and cover because we think we just like set off a bomb or something, right? And we did because we threw a whole block of sodium metal into a stream. And my friend goes, holy crap. Do you think anybody saw that? And I just turned to look at the school. And literally all the windows are just filled with kids with their face plastered against the window. And we book it out of there. And we ran home so fast. Oh my gosh. That was probably my best high school experience. And we did not get caught.
Didn't get caught.
Nope,
Man.
because nobody knew who it was. Because That side of the building was usually all the freshman class, and we were juniors. That is my that's my chemistry story.
Well, I didn't have any cool shit like that because we couldn't get any of that shit in our school because that's too expensive for the budget. We had mousetrap cars for physical science. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, yeah. I of course fucking genius. I applied the principle of the lever and the fulcrum, and the longer that shit is, the more you can use that shit. So what I did is I took this little bit of copper pipe.
Yep.
It's about like a foot and a half, 2 feet long. Stick a little hook on the end of that. Put a string on that. Get that to a straw that I have used on the inside of like a CD. Or not a CD. It was, I don't know what it was. I think like, those CD towers?
Yeah.
It was like the covering for one of those.
Yeah.
It had a much smaller hole in the middle and about the size of a CD
Yeah.
in circumference. And it's plastic, so I put a rubber band around it for some friction and stick the straw in the middle, hot glue that shit to another bit of copper pipe that I have on the front of the mousetrap, and I let that thing rip, and it goes across the entire gymnasium, and I won because mine went the farthest. It also, because I had the pipe on the side, because I needed like two other wheels to keep it balanced. It would turn to one side. So what I did was I just super glued like a bunch of popsicle sticks on one side, like sticking out, so it would like go with this ankle height like popsicle stick blade, just ready to fucking cut the Achilles tendon of anyone who was unfortunate enough to be beside it when it went off. That's the coolest fucking experiment we did.
All right, Cage. We should do one more topic, and then I don't know. You want these to be around like 45 minutes long, something like that?
Yeah, 45 sounds about right.
40.
Let us know if you want longer ones or
Yeah.
shorter ones. I mean, don't let us know if you want shorter ones, because I mean you do, obviously. But
So, Cage, you are an avid cook, and I think you have quite
I'm a
interesting taste.
professional amateur.
Cage watches he loves cooking shows on
I
YouTube.
love cooking shows,
And
TV, YouTube. Fucking, if I can get one live, man, I watch all that shit.
if you could be a chef, would you? Like head chef.
No, because they're so like restricted to get fucking Michelin stars. That shit is such a narrow, like, you can't do anything. All your portions have to be so small. They have to fucking. I mean, you can make shit look fancy. I mean, that's nice, but you can't like
Yeah.
you can't get a bunch of people, let them eat your food, and fucking see them lose their mind over how good it is.
So you're more like the party cook guy. So you'll make a bunch of
Yeah,
food for a group of people,
yeah.
see them enjoy it.
Like
I get that.
fucking when I did home ec, I dude, fucking, I love the cooking bits there. My so my lab partner was like the only other one that could cook, and this is the like a time where I was not the one that forgot, but he was. He left a twice baked potato in the microwave for like 3 months.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we had to use the microwave one day. We opened it up, and there's this fucking baked potato.
I'm
It
so
is
you
the
only had one
gr-
home ec 1 hour of home ec in like a school day. Is that what I'm getting?
we had like maybe 40 minutes.
So you were the only group who used that microwave.
Yeah.
Wow.
And obviously, we didn't use it very much.
I can tell.
Yeah, that thing was more alive then than it was when it came out of the ground.
You fucking.
He was the one that was supposed to clean the microwave. That was his baked potato in there. He just like skipped doing it, I guess. Said he did it and then didn't.
Man.
This is also, this kid is like, he's a bit psycho. Like, he's not the sanest of individuals. He's one of the mishaps was we took the grease that we had from frying bacon and we poured it, into a little container,
Yeah.
a little an old soup tin or something. So what this fucking jackass does is he picks up the container, by the top where it's nice and cool, takes it, puts it on the back of some kid's neck with the nice boiling hot grease bit on the bottom.
I can understand why you say psycho.
Yeah, instant like second degree burn across the back of the kid's neck.
Oh gosh.
It's like, what possesses you to do that?
Did he know the kid?
Yeah, like, dude, everyone knew everyone. Fucking,
Yeah,
there's
small town.
There's like 10 people in that class.
Man, I remember my home ec class. It was just, hey, let's make popcorn. We put too much popcorn in, and the popcorn machine started like overflowing, and it was like black because it couldn't move up and then out into the bowl. You know what I'm saying? With those really weird popcorn machines where it like bubbles up and then overflows into a little bowl.
That's the only popcorn machine I've ever known.
Man, no.
Usually I just make it in the microwave or on the stove.
Yeah, usually just make it in the microwave. But there's like the ones at the carnivals where it's like it's got the bucket and then it overflows out of the bucket into like the big.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
not those.
The big chute that goes up and then it's got like the wedge on it at the top. That directs.
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
a big blender size.
Yeah,
you stick it in the yeah. My grandma had one of those.
But it just kept overflowing because we put way too many kernels in, and the stuff at the bottom, it couldn't move up, so it was just black. That was my home ec experience.
So, not technically a home ec experience, but it happened in the home ec room. One of our teachers, I say this with heavy air quotes, was not really suited to teaching. Bit of an airhead, not bit of a bitch, not really a good teacher. She was a substitute teacher and she was heavily pregnant. I can't think if she had just had her kid or was nearly about to have her kid.
Yeah.
But she was milking herself in the home ec room. And apparently nobody told her that there was a camera in the home ec room. So anyone who walked into the office would see the old CRT monitor with the 4 cameras on.
You don't need to be a genius to realize that there are cameras in school.
She was very dumb. I say this as respectfully as I can. She was not very bright.
All right. So she's milking herself in the home ec room.
Yeah. Just fucking tits out for the camera to see. Anyone who walks into the office can see it. So like, the head office lady saw, of course.
Yeah.
And then like either called her or texted her or something, I don't remember, that her tits were out on camera. So, and that's the most action the home ec room has gotten in 20 years.
So I remember at our school, all the cameras were we had a fairly big school, like not enormous. It was a maze though, absolutely a nightmare to navigate through. Um, but all the cameras were hooked up to the Wi-Fi network, which was then routed into the main room where all the security monitoring went on.
Yeah.
So somebody figured out the IP address to type in to the web browsing bar to access the cameras, which included like not the locker rooms because you can't have cameras in there, but like the hallways that would like lead to the locker rooms, and
Yeah.
then like the weight room and the gym. So these kids would after school like stay outside of the building, log in to that certain IP address, and then they just like watch the cheerleaders or whatever like do their stuff. Really really creepy. Um and when they found out, um they were just like, "Oh, you're going to get suspended for this." And the school actually got fined for not having like a private.
That's secure. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a big smack to the face to the school. And because of that, all the kids just started doing it, like in the teachers' faces, like, haha, you can't do anything about this because the school hasn't changed it yet. And that's my experience with the cameras at school. Like,
Yeah. Ours were all just hardwired. We didn't have any of that fancy wireless shit.
I I thoroughly enjoyed high school. I thought it was a good time. I thought college was better. But man, I hated the administration at our school.
Oh yeah, fucking. They have a good principal now, but
Yeah.
all the previous, not the first one. The first one was great. She was there for like 50 years, and she was there until I was in second grade or third grade. Don't remember which. Then fucking is just one like crazy lady. Then there was like this kind of pedophilic dude. Then there was just like incompetent people. The high school still has an incompetent principal, but the elementary has a decent one.
In in middle school and elementary school, I didn't care enough to to like take any note about the staff that was there. But in high school, I went through 4 guidance counselors, not because I was a bad kid. One got fired for like picking favorites as a guidance counselor and then like straight up just not helping other kids if he didn't like them. I went through another one who was there for like half a school year, got offered a better paying job at the competing high school, went there instead. Had another one who his entire motive throughout my high school career was to ruin my schedule. So like I tried to sign up for an AP class or whatever, right? And he goes, "Oh, you have this many APs on your schedule already, so you can't take this one because you're already full up." I had friends who had all APs all the time, and I was sitting at like a fourth of my schedule. It was stupid. I hated him. He left. Don't know where he went, but I was happy that he left. But his last move on me was destroying my schedule once more by assigning 2 classes at once, which was awful. So I'd go to one class for like 30 minutes and then leave for the other one. Terrible grades for that one class that I was in 30
Yeah,
minutes for.
I'm sure.
Absolutely awful. And then the last one came from an elementary school to a high school. This is my senior year. I'm trying to fill out college apps, get letters of recommendation. She has no idea what she's doing. So I did it all by myself, and I was just like, you know what? I don't care anymore. This is the school episode.
Yeah, the school food. What else? What else did we do?
we talked about how you have no experience in a big city and how you're so less fortunate
Well, I lived
than
in
I am.
Chicago for several months,
But
but that was not growing up. That was first year college.
But yeah, I think this is a good topping point. Did you like this episode? I thought
I mean, it was alright. It wasn't
it
too
wasn't
bad.
bad.
There was a lot less super long awkward silences than I
Yeah.
thought there'd be.
Did you get
Thanks.
embarrassed at all?
Oh, definitely. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Now that we've shared our deepest, innermost selves with each other, I feel we're all a little closer.
So, probably the main source of these is going to go up on YouTube. If we can get these on Spotify or the podcast app on Apple, I've heard it's pretty easy to do. We'll look into that. But
Hit us up
yeah,
at
'cause
at YouTube because we don't have a professional way of being contacted yet, but we'll
we
let you know.
this is the first thing. It's literally 4 days after I suggested we should do this. We have no idea what we're doing, but with your suggestion,
But we're
this could
doing
be
it as
something.
best we can. Yeah.
But once again, thank you all so much for listening. I have been Uff,
I've been Cage.
signing off.